the horses were only linked with royalty. You know, horses have always been connected with wealth. How much does a horse cost a year? Estimated annual cost of owning a horse is between £6,000 and £15,000 a year. The equestrian sector contributes a whopping £4.7 billion to the UK economy. Hi there and welcome to the Just Horse Riders podcast. This week I want to talk to you about perception. And what I mean by that is perception of the equestrian world as a whole. Now, a lot of people that probably aren't horsey probably think that people with horses are extremely wealthy, they've got loads of money, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case for 99% of horsey owners. The reason why I want to talk to you about this is because a few weeks ago I came across a gentleman who I'm not too sure how to put it, so I'm just going to try and do a bit of the accent that he was speaking with. Is very much like this, has to frown all the time to make sure that, very posh. He has to say dressage like this. He has to say dressage. Can't say dressage. He has to say dressage with a frown. I think the reason why a lot of non-horsey people think that having a horse or horse riding is an elitist or wealthy activity is because that's what it has been for the past, 100, 200 years past. It was the horses were only linked with royalty. When you're watching Cinderella, what does she go to the ball in? She goes in a horse-drawn carriage. Watching Pretty Woman, they go attend a very posh polo cross event. Horses have always been connected with wealth. It started me thinking, well, how much does a horse cost a year? If it is linked with wealthiness and elitism, let's have a look, see what's the averages. So I did a bit of research, and what I found was quite amazing. So I've got it all here. The average, this is all averages. Obviously, it will vary from person to person, where you are, how many horses you have, your size of horse, and your activities that you do. But the initial purchase cost of a horse, on average, is between £1,000 and £15,000. Obviously, that can go higher, it can go lower, but that's the average. So that's just to start off with. Now we're going to delve into the annual costs here, which again blew my mind. So grass livery / field rent, if you're renting a field, again, depending where you are, is between £3,000 and £3,500 a year. Okay? Full livery. For anybody who doesn't know what full livery is when you have someone who is mucking out your horse and looking after it, and you're coming along and usually riding. Obviously, there's part livery and different types of full livery, but this is what this one is relating to. So that is between £7,000 and £10,000 a year for one horse. Feeding your horse, because obviously they're not going to be in the fields all year round because we have awful winters here, and they may need special food and whatnot. So feeding is between £600 and £1,200 a year. Doesn't stop there. Don't forget about our friend the vet. They look after the horses and make sure they fix them when they're poorly. And on average, and these are just for routine costs, so that's not if something happens out the blue, is between £600 and £1,200 a year. Next, farriers. Because our horses cannot be without shoes, similar to my wife. So, I'm sorry. So, between 6 to 8 weeks, they'll have the farrier usually. And that can cost between £180 and £600. Doesn't stop there. What are you going to use to ride your horse? You're going to sit on its back, or do you need a saddle, tack, saddle cloths? Horse boots. So tack and equipment, the initial cost for that is between £300 and £900. Obviously, it can be a hell of a lot more depending on what saddle you get and if you're going for the premium sort of range. Again, doesn't stop there. What about if your horse has an accident or damages something? In steps, insurance. So that on average is between £200 and £500 a year. Now I'm sure I forgot things in there. Feel free to let me know. But that's just to keep the horse and to dress it. That doesn't include any lessons, any social events you go to, any competitions. So the total estimated annual cost of owning a horse, depending where you live and all that sort of stuff, is between £6,000 and £15,000 a year. That is a lot of money. But in my opinion, totally worth it. There was a survey done in the UK in 2009, and it found that 425,000 people participated in some sort of equestrian sport. The British Society has over 100,000 members. So from my findings, yes, equestrianism used to be a royalty-only activity. But nowadays, according to my statistics, there's a minimum of 500,000 people in the UK getting involved with horses. So it prompted me to delve a bit deeper. There's 500,000 people participating in horses or horse-related activities in 2009. I wonder how much that actually contributes to the UK. So I found it. The equestrian sector contributes a whopping £4.7 billion to the UK economy. 4.7 billion. So the equestrian world has its own ecosystem. It's supporting its own people. It's supporting your farriers. It's supporting your horse riding instructors. It's supporting your horse riding schools. It's supporting your retail shops. Horses are providing people with an income and a lifestyle, which to me is just fantastic because we're looking after our own essentially. That number really, really surprised me. I didn't realize it was that high. But thinking about it, why wouldn't horse owners and horse riders spend all of their disposable income on their passion? I have it all the time with customers. They'll purchase £300-400 worth of horse gear for their horse, but then they'll double take if they are buying a pair of £20 riding tights for themselves. But I think this is the difference. They're spending their money, their disposable income, every single penny that they have to make sure their horse, their baby, has the best and most comfortable life. And their own needs do fall by the wayside. And that's just what horsey people are like. They're so selfless and passionate about the horses. Yeah, next time you see someone, for all the non-horsey people out there, next time you see someone with a horse, maybe don't automatically think that they're some sort of posh doodah or wealthy so-and-so. Maybe look at them and think, wow, they must be working their backside off for their passion, and be in awe of it. Because it is I don't know any other industry like that. The sport is deeply embedded in history as the sport of kings. If you've got the passion to actually keep your horse and put all the effort in that I've talked about previously on my other episodes, then you deserve to have that prestige about you because it's super special. That's all for this week. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.